we had was a Frost, so this is the first two-player map between these two we see, which has the big difference that both players know where their opponents are, which should make scouting a bit easier. We see, of course, the Overlord already heading towards the left side of the map to try and scout his opponent's base to see what is going on there. Once again, I think, yeah, he went for the barracks before the refinery, so that's not a very strange opener. We're probably going to see a Reaper out of Lillekanin, which he will use to scout his opponent. And of course, Vincent went for the hatch first. So we should be, yeah, we should be looking at something. No, he's actually going for gas before his spawning pool. So this is a very economic opener already from Vincent. I would not be surprised to see him go for a third hatchery straight away, because the aggression that we saw from Lillekanin was not that early. Like he did attack with Marines and Medivacs, but you know, we had to get up all the way to Medivacs before we saw actual aggression from Lillekanin. So I think Vincent should be quite safe if he goes for a very economic opener. And already we see Lillekanin building his own expansion. Yeah, this tells me that there's definitely some options here for Vincent to play a bit more greedy than he'd been in the previous game. So what are we seeing here? We see the Reaper, of course, heading out of the base of Lillekanin, and he added on the factory as soon as he could. So this is already going in a similar direction which he was in the previous game. The question is, of course, what's he going to do with the barracks? Is he going to add on a reactor, a tech lab, so he can go into tanks, or maybe even we see those nasty cyclones, which did a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the Reaper is in the natural of Vincent, trying to pick off well, anything really, preferably a drone. But he's being chased quite heavily by these Zerglings, and now the Queen has popped out and he's forced to exit. So once again, very little result. Two drones did have to morph and then cancel into a sport crawler, so that costs a bit of minerals, a bit of lost mining time, but nothing special so far. On the back of this, Lillekanin is actually already adding on his third command center like he did earlier. And we don't see a third base out of Vincent yet. And I wonder if Lillekanin is aware of this. It doesn't look like it. He hasn't actually scouted in that area.
Bit of a defensive setup from Vincent here at the top of his ramp. It looks like he wants to prevent scouting SCVs or anything really from coming into his base. And he is finishing up Zergling's speed right now. And pneumatized carapace again being researched for him.
So he's going to do a full scout here with two overlords. There will be nothing that there will effectively be hidden here by Lillekanin. You know, the Marines may try to shoot down these overlords as fast as they can, but that is not going to work, I'm afraid. He might lose one, but no, he's not actually microing these overlords that well. So he sees the triple command center, he sees the starport, he sees the lack of a tech lab on the barracks, which is a clear giveaway that this will be a mech-based build, because otherwise he should be upgrading either stim or combat shields to make his marine-based army stronger. But this will not be a marine-based army, it will more likely be a Hellion or Hellbat and tank-based army. So the options here for Vincent are, you know, quite broad. You know, he can do a lot of things. He can prepare for the incoming assault with the medevac, the widow mine, and a bunch of marines, which I think will be very imminent. On the other hand, he can, you know, he could take a fourth base if he wanted to, but he's going to have to defend another extra base against this aggression, which is about to come out of Lillekanin. There he goes. He picks up the widow mine, picks up 6 marines, and flies all the way across the map as quickly as medevacs do. So, yeah, we saw in the previous game that he managed to fly around quite a bit and do quite a lot of damage. I think Vincent's going to be a bit more prepared for that. He's moving at least one queen in position. One queen is not going to be enough to just defend against this, so he's moving all of his queens towards his third. So that's actually going to be quite difficult for Lillekanin to effectively assault going up to up a ramp against 5 queens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, together they get quite a lot of damage output. There's not a lot of energy on these queens though, so transfuses aren't available, not in mass.
Oh, he gets the widow mine. That's a big move. It doesn't take all that much significant damage on these queens. And you're right, there is not a lot of energy for transfuses, but I don't think he's gonna have to really need that. This is more gonna be a maneuvering kind of play. There's a Viking here for Lillekanin, trying to pick off any overlords that are within range of scouting. He has had a third command center for quite a while now. He is about to reach the 50 worker count, and he should really be taking his own third as soon as possible. We don't see any aggression out of Vincent at all. He's getting upgrades, he's getting a lair, he's spreading his creep. This is definitely a macro game in the purest form of it. Double armory, 2 extra factories, tanks. Yeah, it looks like both players are setting this up for a bit of a longer game.
I'm sitting back in my chair, thinking you're right, Jeroen.
Well, I've seen Lillekanin play mech before on streams, qualifiers and that. Of course, he would prefer to play a bit more of a Mass Raven style when it was still viable, but these days it is not as easy as it seems. The medevac has taken quite a bit of damage. It's almost completely crashed. There's Marines in position here to take down a hatchery, but I don't think they're doing enough damage against it in order to make that happen. A couple of Lings move in here, and they just the Marines just get picked up, and they retreat. So far this game has been nothing spectacular. It's mostly economy. Oh, did he pick off the Marine? Yeah, he picked up the
Viking goes down. Yeah.
Oh, the Viking. Oh, yeah, the medevac's
still alive. Barely.
Right. So Vincent is slowly taking more map control by spreading his creep quite efficiently. I have to say he's almost, well, not almost at the halfway point. Scan here from Lillekanin, trying to figure out what his opponent is going for. We see the infestation pit here from Vincent, indicating possibly a very quick hive. I wouldn't say he's going to go for ultras all that quickly, but he is going for melee +2. Now, you would say that what units actually benefit from that would be mostly Zerglings and Ultralisks. So he might be trying to go for a quick Ultralisk composition. However, fun fact is that Lillekanin is making Thors. He was doing the same thing in the previous series. He was making Thors even though they didn't actually get to do all that much. But Thors can they're a pretty decent counter against Ultralisk, depending on positioning, of course. Oh, I'm not sure if this is okay. No, this is not a splitting mistake from Vincent. He's sending in single Zerglings to scout. They just get blown up at range by tanks. Lillekanin has made additional. Wait, are these the same Marines? Yeah, I think these are just the same Marines he made earlier. Which is a bit of a false flag for his opponent. He might think like, oh, is this really mech? But he's gonna find out sure enough. But I have to commend Vincent for his map fishing. He's got Overlord, Zerglings everywhere.
Lots
Very
of
nice.
creep too, if you look at the map.
Yeah, and he's expanding as he should be doing.
Oh, there we go. Zerglings didn't expect that blue flame.
Hellbats, no.
Hellbats.
And now we have Roaches out on the map. Still, which is an interesting choice because he's going for +2 melee and carapace. Alright. He's actually getting Adrenal Glands, Ultralisk. So this is definitely a quick Ultralisk transition here from Vincent. I really want to know how he's going to deal with this. Well, Thors and Liberators are usually a very good way to deal with Ultralisk, and he's making both of those. So very nice decision making here, even though he might not be aware of the fact that there's Ultralisk on the way, which means it's not actually decision making at all. Okay, medevac is flying into the main. It should see the Ultralisk cavern pop up right now.
Another pause from Vincent.
Please. Very curious to see what is going on this time.
Wish sacrificing himself, throwing himself against the lag. Yeah, of course we get this. Every now and then a player has a bit of a lag spike. If you wait it out. Seems good. Vincent doing a bit of testing. Not sure how much information you get out of typing. I think I have to resume because Wish is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So wait until Lillekanin says, alright.
Yeah, it's alright.
I'm so glad I didn't press the
wrong button.
Score a screen button.
We have Hellbats in the main doing quite a bit of damage, roasting a lot of drones and Zerglings. Really, I really hope Lillekanin is paying attention and noticing the fact that there will be Ultralisks. I think he is. He's now making tanks. That seems okay, but he really needs to focus on his upgrades as well, because 3/3 Thors against Ultralisks are just so scary. And he needs to add on Hellbats as well, because the Thors are good against Ultralisk, but they get absolutely shredded by fully upgraded Zerglings. So he needs to include those in his composition as well. And we actually have, is this a push? Is he actually going to push with fly force, a bunch of Zerglings, a bunch of tanks? That is something, because now, oh my god, he's moving in with all of his queens. He's got a whole bunch of roaches, queens, Ultralisk, but it's 3-3 and his armor upgrades are not quite yet. So this is a bit of an anti-timing for both players, I think. I'm wondering if Lillekanin is just not trying to, take the map. It's like even Roach Toddling Claws here is up on is on the way as well. Liberators going into position to cover against any Ultralisk attacks. This is going to be an interesting fight, to say the least.
For sure. Yeah, because traditionally you saw, like meching players, you saw them move out when they hit 200 supply, when they had the maximum power army. But this is a slightly earlier move out. Slightly
earlier, quite a lot, and it's actually uncontested. But he's spreading out his army quite a lot, and he's going to be flanked at least from 2 positional sides. Even though I personally feel that mech army usually needs to be in a bit of a ball form to be as efficient as it is. Here come the Vipers actually dragging in and unsieging the Liberators. Here come the Thors fighting against the Ultralisk, which is being massively transfused, but now the energy of the Queens is completely gone and the Thors are still standing. They need to fight though. These Liberators are being pulled out of siege mode all the time, and it seems that Vincent is completely crashing through the army of Lillekanin.
Wow, yeah. That did not end well for Lillekanin.
Nope, not at all. And now he is going to have Ultralisk knocking on his front door, which is, yeah, this is going to be rough.
For sure. Yeah, those Thors did do a good job against the Ultralisk, so lots of damage because of the transfuses, and then later on the silly moves from the Thors there didn't work out. But,
oh man, this is Ring Around the Rosie with a planetary. Yeah. He doesn't have the armor upgrade, which actually makes big deal. Now the Liberator is trying to take care of these Ultralisks, but he's not focus firing. And as far as I can see, some of the last it does go down, and this Liberator actually kills one of the Ultralisk, but there's other Ultralisk they're fighting everywhere.
Wow.
He's gonna try and break the front, but I don't think it's gonna work. No, he's just gonna heal up and probably reinforce here with Ultras. And I think the second wave might be too much sold for Lillekanin, because with mech, your production is just so slow. He's gonna be trying get a better army composition. Well, I was gonna suggest mostly Thors, but he's making tanks, so pretty rough times here for Lillekanin.
For sure, but Vincent is not pressing the issue right now, so that gives Lillekanin some time to build up his mech force again. In the meantime, trying to do some harass. This Liberator has 11 kills, so I may have missed something.
Yep.
Alright,
yeah, no, he's just gonna regroup and go for the kill, I think, here, because that's just the best way. He's also getting a Spire just in case. I think he might want a tech transition at some point. Lillekanin is desperately trying to grab another fourth in the center of the map, which should have been spotted by... No, the Zerg probably hasn't seen it. He's cleaning up the other fourth. Yeah, Lillekanin's defensive position right now isn't all that bad, but I think they're just... Yeah, there's only one Thor, so these Ultralisks... It's just a few too many, right? Who actually picks up some Vipers. Nice Blinding Cloud on these siege tanks. They are doing absolutely nothing. Burrow Roaches going in as well. There's no anti-air against the Liberators though. The Queens... Okay, now there are the Queens. They're finally getting in range. Meaning that these Liberators will be taken out as soon as possible. But the Ultralisks already going on a rampage. Trying to kill as much as possible. Being split up across the bases. But the third now, which is at this point the most important point of income for Lillekanin.
Maybe you should land the Vikings against the Ultras. That works, right?
Yeah, that works in cinematics too, right? Oh man, and GG. Vincent takes this game against Lillekanin with very good counter mech play.
Definitely, yeah. All right. So it's 1-1 in this series.
It is 1-1.
Indeed. We're going to have a deciding match.
We are indeed, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, we saw Lillekanin pretty much play the game the way he wanted to, and it just didn't work. You mentioned, like, usually as a Terran you wait for 200 and then push out. When I played mech, I usually would wait until my composition was more or less perfect. Having enough Thors against all of the Ultralisks, enough Vikings to counter any air units. And so far, yeah, he mostly just got crushed by being attacked from several angles. different angles, and not having really all the best composition, I think. But still, wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad at all. All right, guys. For those of you currently watching or tuning in, we've had a bit of issues with Twitch tonight, and some players weren't able to continue the matches all the times. But we're back, currently casting the final series of tonight. The other semi-finals was 2-1 for Tomikis versus Genix. So Tomikis is qualified for the round of 16. And currently we're going into the last game of tonight, which will be Lillekanin versus Vincent, and the winner of that also qualifies. So it's a qualifying game coming up. And right after, I'm going to try and do a quick interview with Tomikis and the winner of the next game. Although I'm not sure if I can get a hold of both of them. We're just going to try and do a quick little chat afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Again, guys, whole slew of events coming soon. So keep an eye on the website. Jeroen already suggested that I make a nice little post with an overview, and I will do so this weekend at the latest. So keep an eye on the website. Base Trade TV and Wardy TV will be casting the round of 16 of the DSCL Open. I'm very excited about that. So we're going to get lots of exposure for the DSCL. Hopefully draw more people to the finals on December 3rd. Going to be awesome. Guys.
All right. Well, I say let's get this on. Let's see the final match of the night and see who gets to qualify. We still know that Lillekanin is supposedly the favorite, but that was a very solid game from Vincent.
For sure, yeah, definitely. Apotheosis is going to be the last map. That's a very narrow, tall map, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm curious what it'll be. Let's see what the lobby people are saying. Alright, starting the game right now. It's coming up. Looking forward to this.
Mm-hmm. Well, Wish already getting ahead of himself, telling who to get both players to get ready for the post-game interview.
Well, he asked the winner to connect to me on Skype. That's fine.
Yeah.
Would be pretty BM if you asked one of the players to connect to me on Skype afterwards.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We're going to have one of these traditionally long loading times for this game. So, whereas I would usually start talking about the game right around now, I'm going to hold it off this time. Oh, man. I'm in super late stage cold. I've had a cold, and it's super late stage, which usually manifests itself, in me at least, with a cough. So, the later it gets at night, the more I start coughing. But it's under control for now. It's under control. Alright. Wait just a sec. Setting scores and doing stuffs and throwing us into the game right now. Am I? My hotkey is not working. There we go. Jeroen, take it away.
Alright. We're on Apotheosis here in the bottom right. We have the Green Terran from Team Red Blood Pro. He is Lillekanin.
And fighting his way back into this series, currently 1-1. It is Vincent from Team Extreme Supremacy.
So
final game of tonight.
Definitely the final game of tonight, and we have a very different shaped map, that's for sure. Let's see if this rings any bells, but so far it doesn't really. It seems like a unique map of its own, which is nice. Yeah, I really wonder if Lillekanin is gonna try and go for mech once again. Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think because there's a gold base, which allows the Zerg to really punish a passive Terran. And the fact that the third base will be quite difficult to defend because you have at least 3 flanks from which the Zerg could potentially attack here. That doesn't mean that Lillekanin hasn't tried it, hasn't practiced it, and he might have mastered it in a sense. Mm-hmm. So if that is the sense that he likes to play, then he might just do it.
I would be surprised. I would think it would show the level of skill. I think it would show a high level of skill of Lillekanin if he adapted his go-to build. If he, didn't go mech, even though he's clearly used to going mech because of the map. But still, he may have found a way, like you said, to make it work on this map.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what both players have been up to. We've definitely got a Reaper on the way here for the Terran. Zerg not doing anything special, just a standard expansion with a spawning pool and an extractor so we can get some speedlings going. And I once again anticipate an early third here from the Zerg. What I would have liked to see from Lillekanin, but I don't think it's very viable on this map because of the long distances, would have been a bunker rush. I don't see it all that much in Legacy of the Voice anyway, but it's something that good Terrans would usually pull out when they're in a tough series. You know, I remember the Muslim, of course, doing this on so many maps in so many tournaments against Zergs, very effectively in the era where Zergs were so dominant in the macro game.
Yeah, same with Euthermal, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Euthermal was always, or is still, I believe, a firm believer of the bunker rush, but these days it's more Reapers than Marines, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Third command center for Lillekanin on the way. So the build so far is extremely similar, and I think we're going to see a similar playstyle to what we saw in the first game. To be fair, in the first game, things went a lot better for Lillekanin, but Vincent just defended better in the third and had a far superior composition, which is to say, ultras are just really strong.
Mm-hmm.
We have some. These Zerglings are actually going to pick off the mule. There's 2 Marines on the way. The Reaper comes back here. You really don't want to miss this mule. Oh my god, you got to micro that. And close the depot. Very nice. Alright, so we can continue mining with this mule if he tells it to. Still a bit of lost mining time, which is definitely annoying for the Terran. Something you don't want to have it happen, but he's still going to get a bit of income here. Which is a lot better than completely losing the mule.
Mm-hmm.
Same build here from Vincent. He's getting Overlord speed and he's going to go for another scout. He's definitely going to see the fact that there's a third command center. He's going to spot the factory with the tech lab on it. And that's really going to tell him all he needs to know. He's going to be playing against the same stuff he did in the previous game. I think as a Zerg player, that is extremely comforting, knowing you won the previous game quite handily against that strategy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that will bolster your self-confidence.
Yep. So he gets a good scout off, he sees what's happening, he sees a bunker at the front. Yeah, this is going to be mech for sure. He's already getting 2 creep tumors, that's interesting. Those are a bit early, maybe he's afraid of banshees or something. But he's getting also 2 evolution chambers at the 4-minute mark, so he's going to have early upgrades, that's for sure.
That Reaper did get the creep tumor. It gets another one though, although it costs him his life.
Okay, yeah. But sniping creep tumors at this early stage in the game is very nice. Alright, Lillekanin actually moving out with the medevac and the 6 Marines and the Widowmine, and yeah, he goes between the wisps of the net and is making a beeline straight for the main of Vincent. And I don't think, okay, I was going to say he's probably not prepared for this, but he's sending his overlords everywhere in order to scout for that incoming medevac, so he will very likely spot it. Let's check his vision.
Ooh, yeah, ooh, barely.
I don't think he actually registered that. I find it very doubtful.
Yeah.
So this medevac is now scouting into the left side and is now dropping his Marines into the middle line. There is a Spore Crawler and a Queen. So a good defense indeed against the drop. He has to bury the window line if he wants to do some damage here. Loses one of the Marines, kills 2 Zerglings, and yeah, this defense from Vincent was already really good.
Mm-hmm. Spore Crawl is moving up, will burrow in time for these queens to take out the Widowmine. Oh, tries to get away. Will not.
Well, he won't. So that was a good investment definitely from Vincent, those early Spore Crawlers. Has completely shut down the very repetitive aggression, I'd say, from Lillekanin. Like, his strategy is almost unique to what we saw, identical to what we saw in the previous game. Once again, quick dart in here with a couple Zerglings, force him to pick up, and once again loses more Marines, not watching his Marines all that much, and yeah, this attack has been completely deflected.
Yeah, no damage really for Lillekanin here. He did take the gold base, as opposed to Vincent, who took the regular base, but of course Vincent now also taking the gold base. Yep. So a blue flame on the way for Lillekanin.
Yeah, if you're playing against a heavy Zergling matchup, Hellbats with blue flame just Shrek Zerglings. It's just so good that it's definitely worth it in the mid game. He's kind of chasing around the Overlord at the center. That's cute. But yeah, 4th already on the way for Vincent, and he's pretty much uncontested macroing up, which is very worrisome. The only good thing that Lillekanin really has going for him is that he's already mining off of his gold base, but he really needs to get that 4th going as well, because it's currently heavily saturated. See a couple of Zerglings moving forward, trying to take map control, maybe trying to do a bit of damage. I don't think that's gonna happen. There's an adequate defense here. And a scan in the main lands, sees the infestation pit completing, and there will be a hive like really soon.
Oh,
come on, Vincent, please.
Yeah, he's sorry. Maybe there is, I don't know, lag again. We'll have to wait it out. All right.
Once again, our Zerg is ahead in upgrades, by the way. So he's definitely, in that position, in a very good spot. And yeah, Lillekanin, mech is just such a slow style. You need time to catch up. You need time to establish your base. Establish your production. But this time, definitely, Lillekanin is grabbing a lot more map control. Like, he's got a 5th command center already, and he just landed his 4th. So he's trying to sort of go step by step against the Zerg opponent by having an even insaner economy. But that's still kind of dangerous because at any point, Zerg can flip the switch and just produce an absolute ton of units.
So there's one Overlord hunting Viking here on the map. Is toying with its life because it's flying over some queens, or will.
Yeah. Oh, that Viking is indeed in a very risky position. There's a Thor about to pop out in the main base of. Okay, he adequately changed the weight path of that factory because earlier it produced a tank that got stuck between the 2 factories in the starport. Lynx kind of running in. But they get blown up by the planetary at the 4th.
There's a planetary. Sorry, I thought it was a tank somehow.
Yeah, I thought this initially as well, but it is a badass planetary. So that's.
We haven't seen this before. There's a sensor tower in the game.
Yeah, I like it. Sensor towers are really important when you're playing mech because they allow you to monitor your opponent's movement even when you lose a part of their map control. Wow, 6th command center underway for Lillekanin. He's really playing this in the long haul, whereas the Ultralisk Cavern is already underway for Vincent. Lillekanin really needs to start focusing on unit production. He has 5 factories, a starport, and he's, no longer massively supply blocked, but he really needs to get some serious production going. Oh, he is supply blocked still, alright. I think he just dropped, he just dropped to call down double supply. But yeah, if let's say in the next couple of minutes, Vincent just produces a ton of Zerglings and Ultralisk, he might just once again walk right over him. And Lillekanin is going to have to, play a bit more of a turtle style, I think.
Yeah, I think what would help is if he didn't move out at that specific time that he did last game.
Oh, these Hellbats. So much damage to the Zerglings. Of course, they still get destroyed. But that was a cute little move to keep your opponent in check. Like, Hellbat or Blue Flame Hellion run by it can do so much damage. It's absolutely amazing. Double starport being added on, and probably against the Greater Spire. At this point, as a Terran, you really need to, keep in check what your opponent is making, because he's adding on 12 Corruptors now, which will be most certainly Broodlords. I don't think he's made a single Ultralisk at all.
Oh.
So seeing the Corruptors.
Sees the Corruptors, yeah.
So this is very dangerous, of course, about Zerg. Like, he's banking up 1k minerals, almost 1k gas. He could make anything, but he's making Corruptors, which will most likely turn into Broodlords.
Yep, there we go. 6 of them on the way.
And how many anti-air units does Lillekanin actually have?
Let's take a look at that. We got some 5 Thors and 3 Liberators and 9 Marines.
Yeah, so that's not really going to be enough against Broodlords. He needs Vikings, and he needs them now. But what did he do? He added on tech labs to his extra starports, and he's researching explosive shrapnels, and he's just getting core of the reactor. He wants to go Ravens, but his time is almost already up. Alright, now he lands his scans. He sees more Corruptors. Did he actually see the Broodlords there? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
Is he getting a fusion core?
This is gonna be great. Oh, yeah. Nice barbecue here, by the way.
He has 4... Oh, nice, indeed. He has 4... Oh, man, he really should know that something is up, because there's no ground units ever defending this except Queens. He's adding on Ravens right now, but he needs Vikings. Oh, there's a Nidus in the bottom right. Alright, this is a problem. Nidus in the bottom right. And now Zergling's going to stream in, and he needs his Hellions there right now to kill these, because they can take down his infrastructure so fast. The fusion core gets cancelled. He makes more Hellbats, more Thors. And now on the other side, the Broodlords are actually kind of moving out. They're building a creep path along the base. along the line of the map, and these circlings. Oh, this is nasty. They're killing so much infrastructure, and he needed that infrastructure to make Vikings.
For sure. Oh, another pause from Vincent. There's something else going on here. There's the Zergling attacking the sixth base for Lillekanin. Like you said, the infrastructure is pretty important.
Yeah, there's like without the choice to make ravens has almost already cost him the game, I would say. Like the fact he was not making a ton of Vikings, which would have landed him with a significant upgrade advantage in the air as well, during a fight, just makes this so harder for me.
Brood Lords on the way, like literally on the way to Lillekanin's base. That's 6. There's another one morphing right over here. There's another one there. So 8 Brood Lords. And I'm going to take a look at the units tab once again. Still only the 2 Liberators and the Thors that shoot up. And Thors, they have a problem with range against the Brood Lords.
Yeah, it's yeah, everyone really wants to know what's up, Vincent, by now, because this is getting a bit ridiculous, you know. And he's about to win the game as well. If he just, you know, moves along with his Brood Lords and his Corruptors, he will just kind of crush Lillekanin's army, which is just not equipped at all to fight this.
He only has 1 pause left, though. Alright,
yeah.
So still lag issues.
Oh, okay.
Alright, jumping back into the game. Alright.
Alright, so the threat in the main has been cleaned up, which means that a significant portion of the army of Lillekanin has actually moved all the way to the inside the base, which means these Corruptors and Broodlords are not going to be all that heavily contested. Like Thors, they take a while to get somewhere, you know. So, oh wait, did he spot this? Did he spot the Broodlords? Because he's making 5 Vikings right now, and he absolutely needs those. Like yesterday.
Cool. 5 Vikings at a time. That's cool. So every second that Vincent camps out here just outside the range, oh, actually these tank effects just skirting past the Broodlords. Every second that these Broodlords are not attacking, more and more Vikings are popping out.
Yeah. How many Corruptors are there? There's only 5 Corruptors left. These Vikings can actually destroy those easily, and then you can just kite the Broodlords and kind of kill them, except for the Queens, which... Oh yeah, wait, he has Queens, and those have like 8 range, so this might actually still get very, very difficult, especially with a couple of Vipers being added on. This composition is really good. Like, how do you fight this as a Terran? Well, if their clumped mass Ravens sort of works, because Seeker Missile destroys stuff. But 3/3 Thors are also very strong. So if you can get a couple of SCVs and repair the Thors, yeah, okay, he scans the army, he sees what's coming, loses the sensor tower, needs to evacuate these SCVs immediately. He needs to give up the gold base, that's for sure.
For sure. It's nearly empty too, so.
Oh, come on, don't fight with the... Okay. Oh, he almost overextended there with his Queens, but still, this is going to be a very, very, very tough fight for the Terran. But he has a lot of Vikings, I like it. If he can focus fire down the Corruptors 1-by-1, he'll do a good job. He tries to siege on top of these Queens and do as much damage as possible. The Corruptors are not fighting the Vikings. I think he saw a couple of Seeker Missiles fly down there, but the Queens are still transfusing so much. But there's Thors. Their anti-air is just too good, and the army of Vincent gets smashed by this mech army, which has far superior upgrades, I have to emphasize.
I think the point defend drones were key there. And positioning as well. I don't know. This is a pretty intense battle.
Yeah, this was very intense. And what is our Zerg opponent remaxing on? Ultralisks and Zerglings, I would suppose, but I don't see them right now.
So with Viking production has stopped. It's only Thors now again. So against
and he has Hellbats. Hellbats in this army are critical. Otherwise, you just get swarmed by Zerglings, and your Thors are completely useless against those. Yeah, and that's GG.
Whoa,
he doesn't even take a fight. He just knows it's over, which I personally would not have thought, because 8 Ultralisks are still scary as hell.
Man, I was so nervous. I thought the game was going to end there. Lillekanin turns it around. My God. Lillekanin finally qualifies for the DSCL Open. Congratulations, and of course, thank you, Vincent, and all the other players for playing tonight. There's one more